Touching story of a white Southern family taking in an impoverished black teenager and helping him turn his life around. And it's busting all the predictions at the box office.
Do you have any place to stay tonight? Don't you dare lie to me. Come on. Come on. SJ, make room. Get inside. Come on.
The Blind Side was inspired by the true story of Michael Oher, who's now an offensive lineman for the Baltimore Ravens, as well as the family who accepted him as one of their own. They join me now. Please welcome Leanne, Sean Collins, and Sean Tuohy Jr. It's great to have you guys here. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. When my wife and I saw the movie, we both just were blown away by how powerful the story is. And I think what even makes it more just touching is that it's true. This is a true story. Leanne, that scene that Sandra Bullock is seeing Michael Oher out there walking around in the rain on a cold night, did it happen like that?
Almost. There was a few artistic liberties taken in that scene. We actually did pick Michael up on a cold evening, and but it was not to go straight to our house that night. We picked him up, and he had come out to the school to go to the gym where there was some heat, and we gave him a ride back to a bus stop to get him home a little bit quicker than taking a bus that would, stopped at 8 or 9 different places. So
something touched you. You saw this guy out there walking on the side of the street. What happened inside of Leanne Tuohy when you saw this great big guy out there walking around by himself?
I think it's just mother's intuition, just something that was just kind of that nagging at you that just said, turn around. I think that those 3 words have been pretty impactful in my life lately, turn around. And I'm forever grateful that we did. He's a fine young man that's changed our lives.
I think that was one of the more powerful moments when maybe the scene in which your friends were depicted as saying, you've changed this young man's life, and you said, no, he's changed mine. And I thought that was very powerful. Sean, when Leanne first started talking about you guys bringing Michael into the Tuohy family, were you just kind of used to Leanne doing things like this? Was that just sort of the way you were expected to accept, okay, Leanne's got an idea here?
Talking about it's a little bit of a stretch. I mean, she tells us about it.
No, not...
Yeah. And truth is, there never was this epiphany moment. And that's, sometimes it's the hardest question to answer to people. They say, when did you decide? And heck, we don't remember. Because it was... we kind of joke about it. We just say, well, it was Tuesday because it was the day after Monday and day before Wednesday. And they just all kind of came together. Then all of a sudden we were in the middle of it. And, and then it's 8 years later and he's in Baltimore and we're in Memphis. So I don't really know that there was this big, sit-down thing. But there obviously had to be a conscious decision that, is this good or bad? But there never was one openly. And she's not really... We vote. Sean Jr., I, and Collins have 49.5%. And we voted all the time. We just don't ever seem to win.
Well, I understand how that works.
Yeah, I know you
I'm married to a Southern woman myself.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to come back, and we're going to be talking about the Tuohy's reaction that they've received from the movie. And a little later in the show, the Cake Boss and I are going to Tuohy's, the family that inspired the box office blockbuster, The Blind Side. We got Leanne, Sean Collins, and Sean Jr. Collins, I want to ask you, you and Michael were the same age.
Yes, sir.
You went to school with Michael. You saw him. When your mom first said, hey, I think we're going to invite him home, what was your reaction to that experience?
Well, it didn't go exactly like that. It wasn't this big sit-down moment that they kind of made it out to be. It was really gradual. And Michael and I had already spent a lot of time around each other before him even being a part of the family, was an option.
Mm-hmm.
I cheered and he played football, and then I did track and he did as well. So we were already acclimated to knowing each other before the big, push to move in happened.
Were there friends of yours that thought your family was crazy?
I'm sure there was.
But
they weren't vocal about it.
They never said anything.
No, my friends never. I mean, it may have been for fear that Michael, would kill them.
Yeah.
But no, my friends were very open to Michael. When I look back on it, now that question's asked a lot. And when I look back on it, they were very sweet to him, and we all got along really well. And his friends were always welcome, in our house because our house was his home, and my friends were the same, and we all got along really well.
SJ, I want to ask you, are you as entrepreneurial as you're portrayed to be? Because I see you as the CEO of one of the top companies in America someday, and not very long from now.
Well, Jay did a pretty good job, and I don't know if I was quite like that, but I like to tell myself that, I guess. But I think Jay might have pulled me off a little bit better than I pulled myself off.
That'd be pretty cool having this, big brother who comes in to kind of keep an eye on you and watch after you, huh?
Yeah, so it's kind of like one of those things where I never had that, and it was just there. And it was really more of he was a friend than a brother for a long time, and I just never really, I started introducing Mike as my big brother before he was my big brother, And, yeah, it was just something that was, I guess I didn't really grow up without Mike.
Junior was like 7 or 8 years old. But he worked those coaches pretty hard. Don't let him
tell you that.
Yeah, I mean,
he worked
I said something on national television.
We can tell. I think it was, the second or third trip that coaches made before Michael ever actually said anything to him, because Sean Jr., he handled the whole process.
He just makes stuff up.
And it got to be known toward the end of the recruiting process. Some of the coaches would go, "Well, is SJ going to be home tonight?" Because they knew, that not all was going to happen unless SJ was in the house.
He was going to work them hard, wasn't he?
He did.
Now, where did he get that from?
No, that is from his dad. That's from his dad.
I think he got from both of you. Just from the time I've been around you, I think it's both of you. All right, we're going to keep talking because there's some things we got to talk about and how this incredible experience happened. We'll be back with the Tuohys right after this. Stay with us.